That's going to be Friday, 9:30 Eastern on ESPN. Summer League's a little over a decade old, but until Lonzo showed up there a few years ago, I don't even think most people were paying attention to it. They won't be paying attention to John Morant in the Summer League out in Salt Lake. He had a little bit of surgery to remove a loose body from his knee, so Zach Kleiman and the Grizz are just hoping for a little regular season Morant magic. And how about some magic from Jimmer Fredette? Taken back in the 2011 draft, he's going to get one more shot in the NBA, this time with the Dubs, who obviously could use a little bit of firepower this coming season. So we'll see if this is finally the time that Fredette can stick in the NBA. A lot going on at the Summer League.
Okay.
Players will be free agents tomorrow at 6 Eastern. Our NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski with us. Roach, that's about 40% of the league. Now, meetings are already being set. What do you got on Kyrie Irving, the latest?
The Nets and Kyrie Irving are going to meet Sunday in New York, and both sides are motivated to get an agreement, 4 years, $141 million finished right there on Sunday, and make Kyrie Irving a Brooklyn Net.
Now, what about D'Angelo Russell? What are the Nets saying about him?
Well, once Irving commits to the Nets, there are two options for Brooklyn. They could renounce D'Angelo Russell, allow him to become an unrestricted free agent. They may not do that immediately if there are some sign-and-trade scenarios. They want to help get D'Angelo Russell to a place he'd like to go, if it also makes sense for the Nets, if they could get back something they'd want there. But without a sign-and-trade scenario, they would eventually renounce him. And the Los Angeles Lakers have already reached out to his agents, Austin Brown, Aaron Mintz at CAA. They want to set up a meeting with D'Angelo Russell. And I'm told that there's a mutual interest about a reunion there. They have the cap space to sign Russell to, they could reach his max number. So they're also pursuing Kawhi Leonard in free agency, but D'Angelo Russell for the Lakers is certainly a prime consideration right now.
Yeah, very fluid situation right there. Now, another name we're keeping an eye on, another guy, is Jimmy Butler. What can you tell us about what he's been up to? He
is on his way to Miami tonight. He is expected to meet, I'm told, with the Miami Heat on Sunday at 6 p.m. once he's allowed to. Philadelphia has not ruled out working with Butler and with other teams about a sign-and-trade, teams who don't have the cap space, a meeting with the Heat on Sunday, and then possibly early in the week out in California with the Houston Rockets, who've been in hot pursuit of him. And so, you know, Jimmy Butler's future possibly may be elsewhere outside of Philadelphia.
News leaking early. You knew that was going to happen. First up, Kemba Walker. According to Woj, who again will join us at the bottom of the hour live, a 4-year, $141 million deal expected to be finalized tomorrow with Kemba in Boston to basically say, you might lose Kyrie, you might lose Al Horford, but you've got me. So how does Kemba stack up with Kyrie, with one coming and one likely departing? The good news for Boston, over their last 300 games, the two All-NBA guards have been pretty much the same player, separated by just 15 total points and 4 assists. One has a little more drama than the other, though. Not to mention they were separated by just 8 picks back in the 2011 draft. That's big news. This could potentially be huge news. Straight from Woj again, that Kawhi and Kevin are talking to each other about their free agent scenarios, including the possibility, stop the presses, of playing together. Now, there are a couple teams that can make that possibility a reality, and you better believe those two fan bases will be salivating. Who can do it? Bobby Marks is here, front office experience, over 20 years dealing in the front office of an NBA. He can break it down. So without further ado, tell me the two teams that could possibly make a Kawhi-Kevin duo possible.
Well, the two teams are the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Clippers. And I think when we're looking at the Knicks,
They've got certainly the clear path of $70 million right now, $70.5 million. And as I said, we're going to do some easy math here. Yeah. I'm not going to complicate the audience here. And what we're going to do is we're going to slide Kevin Durant in.
Sure.
That leaves you about $33 million in room. And we're going to slide Kawhi Leonard in.
Simple.
Easy. Nothing to do with the roster here. You still have R.J. Barrett and Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith. You will have your $4.8 million room exception to build out your bench. Remember, Durant would be like your free agent addition of 2020. And this is how this group would build out. And then when we're looking at the Clippers, we'll put Kawhi back into free agency.
Okay.
And we will put Kevin back into free agency.
Right.
And we'll go find the Clippers here on the carousel.
Fire them up.
And we will get here. The Clippers are a little bit more complicated here, but there is a path to do it. First, it would start off with renouncing a player like Patrick Beverley.
Okay.
And then we would go down here. They've got some players they've given qualifying offers to, Rodney McGruder, Ivica Zubac. They would have to waive Sindarius Thornwell and Tyrone Wallace on non-guaranteed contracts. As you can see, the money is building up here.
Slowly out.
And that gets you up to 56. Not enough. $70 million is your magic number here.
Okay.
And when you look at, we'll put Kevin Durant in right now.
Slide him in.
That number is down to 19. Kawhi is 32.7. Yeah. So who is the odd man out right now? And it's going to be Danilo Gallinari. And what they can do, they can either trade Gallinari to a team that has cap space. They can stretch him. Right now, we're gonna trade him out.
Okay. And
that gets you to $41 million. And here's Kawhi Leonard. He slides in. You still have $9 million in cap space. You have that room exception of $4.8 million. And here's your Los Angeles Clippers going into next season.
And the logo just gets it done. Anywhere he goes. We'll see if this ends up coming to fruition, or if perhaps they go to different locales, or perhaps this guy stays in the same locale. Coming up, bottom of the hour.